second in the Constructors' Championship. We've done alright, haven't we? Season starts, hooray! Okay, the Australian Grand Prix off the calendar, I think, unless it's been moved. Pacific are replacing Tyrrell. Williams are using Ford Zetec engines. Williams have left Renault, and now Renault are like, Jordan, you finished second in the Constructors. Why don't you join us? Engines free of charge. Yes, Renault, we want your engines. Olivier Panis. He scored 10 of Ligier's 11 points last season, so one thing it's safe to say is that he's much better than Pedro Diniz. We're going to get the legend himself, Take Inoue, as our test driver. I mean, look, 8 million is the amount of money he's offering. He only offered 3 million last season. That's how desperate he is to get into Formula 1. On a personnel front, Williams and Jordan, we're basically equally matched. And then, I mean, look at the drivers. I mean, we've got Barrichello, Panis and Inoue. I mean, that's a mediocre driver lineup. Williams, they've got Damon Hill still. Williams' driver number 1 this season is Michael Schumacher. But they have replaced Michael Schumacher with Uko Katayama. And then the drivers, I have to say, one of the best driver lineups on the grid. Still got Jan Magnussen, still got David Coulthard, but Mika Hakkinen has been replaced by Jacques Villeneuve. Thanks to us at Jordan and Williams, all of the heads of their various different departments have all changed. Gerhard Berger is still there, but their second driver is Mika Hakkinen. Berger and Hakkinen, that is a brilliant driver lineup. And then there's the new team, Pacific. Their chief engineer, Frank Koppuk, he was in Formula 3000 last season. Pacific are looking dreadful, to sum it up. Barrichello on a 26.8, Panis on a 27 dead, Take Inoue's best time was a 29.5. So he's over 2.5 seconds slower than Barrichello. Barrichello from Panis, from Irvine, who's done remarkably well to finish in 3rd, and then it's Berger and Hakkinen, and then we got 40, who were the joke team in the previous season. Well, they're not the joke team now in 1997, because Pacific, they still cannot break into the 1 minute 20s. That was quite terrifying. It said he was in 13th, he's in 4th. I think he's been jumped by David Coulthard and, strangely, Pedro Diniz in the Ligier. I mean, McLaren and Coulthard, they had a pretty anonymous season last season, but look at Coulthard now, leading the Grand Prix by 15 seconds. Pedro Diniz! Panis has moved up to 5th place thanks to Diniz retiring right at the end. Johnny Herbert has scored his first points of the series in 6th place. $14,000, that is it to get a much better advanced steering system. Honestly, Ligier, you're getting ripped off. Do you know what? I was getting worried about Panis. I was getting worried that I was going to have to stick with the worst of the two current drivers, but no. Everyone outside of the top 8 didn't make it within the 107% rule. That includes both McLarens. Underway, and it's both Jordans heading down towards the first corner, and Olivier Panis has been passed by Rubens Barrichello. No, Barrichello, I thought he was coming into the pits. Barrichello has actually retired. 2nd place, I don't know how Mika Hakkinen ended up in 1st, but unfortunately I think it's too little too late. He closed the gap down from 20 seconds to 4.2, but Hakkinen is still going to win the Brazilian Grand Prix. Olivier Panis in 2nd and Gerhard Berger in 3rd. Ferrari, Benetton, they've been beating the qualifying lap record, but can Olivier Panis do that for the 2nd race in a row? Yes, he can. Kenny Brack in 5th, Jos Verstappen in 6th. That is brilliant from those guys. Credit to Mark Goossens, not only for being much quicker than Bertrand Gachot, 4 seconds a lap quicker. Mark Goossens in that dog of a car, that Pacific, he beat both 40s. Who is our chief mechanic? It's Carl Garden, isn't it? Or Carl Gaden, however you pronounce his name. The former Williams mechanic. He's made a mistake. The stop took longer than planned because of a jammed wheel nut. So Gerhard Berger has, out of all of that, moved from 4th to 1st. Berger's going to win the Grand Prix by over 50 seconds ahead of Panis, and then Barrichello wasn't too far behind his teammate. Well, Häkkinen leading the championship at the start of this episode, it was David Coulthard who was leading it, but, well, since the first race, Coulthard has only scored 1 point. Honestly, unless we can win a Grand Prix, we're not going to beat him. Williams are on the same points total as Sauber. Wow! Yep, he's beaten the qualifying lap record by 3 seconds. Schumacher's in 3rd, Damon Hill is in 7th. That's actually almost where you'd expect Williams to be. There's Barrichello and Panis right next to each other. If you go back, there's Michael Schumacher in 3rd. Lap 16 and we're 20 seconds ahead of him, so we're over a second a lap quicker than Schumacher. Every other 1-2 we've gotten, it's just been we've qualified at the front and stayed there. But as you can see, we're not holding up the field, we are quicker than the rest of the field. In fact, actually, Barrichello has just lapped Mika Häkkinen. And in fact, just as I say that, Olivier Panis, he's retired. And there you go, Barrichello from Schumacher from Berger. McLaren have got the best side pods possible. $162. It's a good gamble, we'll try and go for it. Yes, we have stolen the plans to their side pods. It's the exact same story. Olivier Panis is held up behind the other 40 of Luca Badoa. Oh no, scratch that, because Olivier Panis has beaten the qualifying lap record by almost 1/10 of a second. He's still in 4th, that's not too bad. He's ahead of Irvine, Katayama. Ferrari have done much better here than they have at any other Grand Prix. A very good race strategist in the form of me and Olivier Panis, not so Barrichello, but thankfully I made him do a 2-stop because we found ourselves in 1st and 2nd. Katayama's in 3rd. And then we got Häkkinen, Berger, Villeneuve, Irvine, the fellow 3-stoppers. They were way down. Katayama could get a podium. Katayama! Yeah, Panis has taken a race lead. I was getting slightly worried that Barrichello was going to unfairly take the race lead off of him, but in fact he has. I've told him to let Panis through. I didn't think him coming in a lap earlier would matter, but it has, because Barrichello is going to win the 1997 San Marino Grand Prix. But either way, McLaren back on form, or at least the form they had at the first Grand Prix of the season. Villeneuve in 3rd, Coulthard 4th. They're ahead of Benetton in the end. For $1.5 grand, it's a literal steal for $1.5 grand. Got it. But Barrichello, he's only just ahead of Pedro Diniz in the Ligier. Panis, he's behind both McLarens, which sounds good, but he's also behind Kenny Brack. I've underestimated Katayama's talents. It's Mika Häkkinen in 1st, from Katayama in 2nd, Berger 3rd, Brundle 4th, Irvine 5th, Barrichello 6th. Panis is out. Panis is out. Already. Katayama's still leading. If I knew Katayama was leading the race and he's now out, he's retired, Barrichello's going to take 5th, but Häkkinen is going to win the 1997 Monaco Grand Prix. Villeneuve has just snatched 2nd from Gerhard Berger. How's Villeneuve done that? Villeneuve has snatched a race lead from right under Mika Häkkinen. We're leading the Constructors' Championship by only 1 point. Ferrari just ahead of Williams. But you've got to ask the question, how much further ahead would they be had Katayama not kept spinning off? We'll see if we can get it. And we have, so that's brilliant. So here are the full qualifying results. Barrichello from Panis, from Häkkinen, and then Kenny Brack. Kenny Brack, in the arrows, has split both Benettons. Panis, he has slipped down. How on earth has that happened? So if Katayama is... Someone's just blowing up, actually, I just noticed there. It literally delayed my pit stop by 2.5 seconds because of the refueling rig when we weren't refueling. So what was the problem with it? The race has ended. Thank you. Thank you, because it just started raining. So Barrichello has won The 1997 Spanish Grand Prix, Gerhard Berger was in second. Uko Katayama has taken a podium. He's in third place. For only $937, can we get much better vanes? Yes, we can. It's as simple as that. I mean, that's why you need a top security firm. So then, once again, just being reminded that Barrichello absolutely smashed the qualifying lap record that was set today by Mika Häkkinen. Partly due to the fact that, of course, we just took Benetton's vanes, and that was a massive improvement. I mean, Martin Brundle has stalled his car and is out of the Grand Prix, the second year in a row that there has been horrendous bad luck for Martin Brundle at the circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Oh, Damon Hill has retired from the lead of the Grand Prix. Gerhard Berger is now 20 seconds behind Barrichello. It was 14 seconds, it's now 20, it's now 28. Barrichello is 8 seconds a lap quicker than Gerhard Berger. He's now 36 seconds ahead of him. Barrichello with a 10-second penalty. What's even the point? In fact, I think Barrichello has served that penalty and has still been able to retain the race lead. That's how far ahead he is, and Häkkinen has retired. Katayama's in second. He's in the pits, and he's come out and he's still in second. What happened to Gerhard Berger? Where is he? Gerhard Berger's in sixth. Barrichello! No! No way! Irvine's retired. Barrichello's retired. Uko Katayama is on the final lap, and I think he's going to win the Canadian Grand Prix 25 seconds ahead of Michael Schumacher in a Williams. Barrichello and Irvine both retired, but because they retired on lap 67, Pacific didn't have a chance to unlap themselves because they were just that far down. Pacific so nearly scored points, but either way, 8th place. For a really rubbish, crummy, backmarker team, to get 8th place, that could be substantial. Oh, Jacques Villeneuve is injured and will miss the next 2 races. Well, yeah, Magnussen, he's not dreadful, but compared to Villeneuve, yeah, he's not that great. Coming around the final corner, being held up by Bertrand Gachot, will he take pole position? And yes, he will. He's done it by nearly 3 seconds. What about Olivier Panis? Can he take pole position at his home Grand Prix? Barrichello is out! A collision there I saw at the top of the screen. That is not good whatsoever. Martin Brundle has done a brilliant job, because let's not forget the Sauber is still worse than the Williams in terms of its chassis and aerodynamic package, but Brundle was only a 10th off Michael Schumacher. And look at that, Bertrand Gachot in the Pacific has avoided falling behind the 107% cut-off time. He's 2 seconds quicker than his teammate. As you can see in the bottom left, it's got an R next to Barrichello's name. I think Barrichello has retired from the French Grand Prix. 12.2 seconds, our quickest pit stop of the Grand Prix, but that just won't be enough. Unfortunately, Gerhard Berger has retaken the race lead, and also, I feared this might happen, but Michael Schumacher has taken second once again. Well, actually, scrap Michael Schumacher trying to help me out. He has come into the pits once again. So, we're 25 seconds behind Gerhard Berger. I think Barrichello was 11 points ahead of Gerhard Berger. Well, now he's only 1 point ahead. And in fact, whoa, Bertrand Gachot has just been taken out of qualifying by Rubens Barrichello. Rubens Barrichello is going 5 seconds a lap quicker around Silverstone this year than he did last year. Little did I realise that Kenny Brack once again qualified in 4th place. That's becoming quite a habit for Kenny Brack in the Arrows. But to add to that list, finally Minardi, they've had an exceptional qualifying session, but Giancarlo Fisichella for Minardi has qualified in 3rd. Fisichella qualified in 3rd, but on the starting grid to start the formation lap, he has stalled his car and will have to start the race from the pit lane. Well, I think for some insane reason, Panis has ran out of fuel. Because he didn't come into the pits, he should have done. Rubens Barrichello has now retired. Great, so we're not going to score any points this Grand Prix. It looks like Benetton are going to score 16 points. Jordan, we're not going to get any. Oh no, Jan Magnussen! No, Jan Magnussen, he was doing better than Brundle, better than his teammate David Coulthard. Jan Magnussen was in 6th place. I thought he was going to score a point for McLaren, but he's retired. Irvine took 3rd though, fair play to him, taking 3rd of this home Grand Prix. There's Katayama in 4th. Actually, one of the few times now that Irvine has beaten Katayama when it matters. Schumacher in 5th, and Martin Brundle beat Damon Hill. Panis has retired from qualifying without setting a lap time. I think him and the 40 driver both took each other out. I can scarcely believe it. This was a mad qualifying session. Barrichello's on pole position, 2 seconds ahead of Kenny Brack in 2nd, and Kenny Brack had the qualifying lap record. Briefly, Jos Verstappen's in 3rd in the other Arrows. Arrows qualified genuinely 2nd and 3rd on genuine pace. The team that hasn't actually qualified is Ferrari. And yes, we had the fewest starters of any Grand Prix this season, but I think we're going to have no retirements. But Rubens Barrichello, no, I speak too soon. Johnny Herbert, he has retired, but Rubens Barrichello is going to win comfortably the 1997 German Grand Prix around Hockenheim. The 2 times, actually 3 times world champion, because he won the Drivers' Championship last season. So the double or triple world champion Michael Schumacher is unwell, and he's so unwell that he won't be taking part of the next Grand Prix. Mika Hakkinen, the Benetton driver and Drivers' Championship contender, is injured and will be missing the remainder of the season. So that basically means the Drivers' Championship is a 2-horse race. It's between Barrichello and Berger, between our current driver number 1 and our future driver number 1. We're now 18 points behind Benetton in the Constructors' Championship. Benetton, I think, are essentially going to be a one-man team when it comes to scoring points for the remainder of the season. Jean-Christophe Bouillon for Williams actually finished 4th, Damon Hill in 12th on a 1:17.2. Marc Genet is much worse than Mika Hakkinen, and I think he single-handedly is going to cost Benetton the Constructors' Championship this season. Barrichello, with just a handful of laps left to go, has retired from the Grand Prix lead. There you go, Panis von Berger and Jean-Christophe Bouillon in his debut race with Williams finished in 3rd. The 1997 Hungarian Grand Prix was Olivier Panis's first Formula 1 career win. I think, oh no, Gerhard Berger has actually split our 2 drivers. Montemini is 1,000th slower than the cut-off time for the 107% rule. Marc Genet has impressed me, because Marc Genet, we saw his driving stats, they're not that good. He's replacing Mika Hakkinen. He didn't do brilliantly at a previous Grand Prix, but he still qualified in 4th. He's 1.2 seconds off of Gerhard Berger, but I think the only reason he is in 4th is because there is no competition once you exclude Jordan and Benetton, because look at the guy in 5th. It's Martin Brundle. But more impressive than that, Marc Genet, he's had to hold off Gerhard Berger for the past several laps now, but I think Marc Genet is going to beat Gerhard Berger at the 1997 Belgian Grand Prix. Unbelievable! Marc Genet, the future Minardi driver, has finished 3rd. And in fact, Martin Brundle come the end wasn't too far behind, so Marc Genet nearly cost Benetton a lot of points because Martin Brundle was only 4 seconds behind Gerhard Berger come the end of the Grand Prix. No way, Marc Genet in the Benetton has just taken pole position at Monza. Oh, Jacques Villeneuve has got a 10-second stop-go penalty, so Jacques Villeneuve is in 6th, and there you go, that is 1 place gained for Olivier Panis. Barrichello, I think Barrichello, yes, through the pit stop period he has jumped Gerhard Berger. Okay then, so we just got a few laps left to go of this Grand Prix, and Marc Genet has retired. 38 seconds Barrichello beat Gerhard Berger by. Ligier! My word, Ligier have gone bankrupt. But I think with Mika Hakkinen out of it, and the fact that we have been able to actually improve our reliability, I just don't see us losing the Constructors' Championship. It's going to be tight. There's only 2 races left to go. There's only 2 points in it. But I think we could just about beat Benetton for the 1997 Constructors' title. So both of our drivers have set lap times in the 1 minute 18s. Everyone else is in the 1 minute 19s. Actually, Marc Genet did a 1 minute 19.5. Everyone else is in the 1 minute 20s and over. Olivier Panis has retired from the race lead. Hang on, Katayama has retired and has still finished in 3rd place. So let's see, why did he retire? He spun off, honestly. Maybe it's unlucky, maybe he's just bad, but that is heartbreaking anyway. And, you know, we would have had the Constructors' Championship near as damn it wrapped up, especially with Marc Genet retiring this Grand Prix with an engine failure of all things. Let's look at the Drivers' Championship. Well, it's looking good, but not safe. Rubens Barrichello, with 1 Grand Prix left to go in this 1997 season, is leading the Drivers' Championship by 6 points. He's on 83, Gerhard Berger is on 77. It's close, but if Rubens Barrichello finishes in the top 2, he's won the Drivers' Championship. Thanks to Katayama's 3rd place finish at the previous Grand Prix and Eddie Irvine's 4th place finish means that Ferrari, they've overtaken McLaren in the Constructors' Championship. And honestly, I think Ferrari deserved that, because Ferrari, I believe, are the only other team to have won a Grand Prix this season aside from ourselves, Benetton and McLaren. That's brilliant. For the Constructors' Championship, that's phenomenal. I don't know why Marc Genet hasn't set a lap time in qualifying. Maybe he crashed out before he could set a lap. I mean, we've had that happen to us before. But with only 1 Benetton going up against 2 Jordans, that means that we're even more likely to win the Constructors' Championship here this season. Gerhard Berger has just come into the pits. Well then, he's not doing a 1-stop then. Much like at this Grand Prix, Schumacher jumped a load of top drivers such as Gerhard Berger and Mika Hakkinen by doing a different strategy. But for the final Grand Prix in this 1997 season, Barrichello is in the race lead, Panis in 2nd, Damon Hill has retired, but I think both of our guys, we're going to come home in a 1-2 finish for the Japanese Grand Prix here in 1997, and that means we're going to win both the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship here in 1997. Barrichello from Panis from Schumacher. Rubens Barrichello won the Drivers' Championship on 93 points. Gerhard Berger came in 2nd on 80 points. Look at that, 146 points. That's a very successful season for us. Where are... actually, Ligier aren't even listed on the Constructors' Championship, am I right? I don't think they are. Ferrari finished in 3rd though. Williams just about lost out to McLaren. They were only 1 point behind come the end. I know Ligier aren't even listed in the Constructors' Championship.